I'm Lynn Graham, and welcome back for our Bible study in our home fellowship. Uh, this is the way this started. For years I have been doing family devotion at home. So there's nobody here now; they're all at the movies. But I thought, I do so many of these things, and why not share them and some of the valuable lessons? Now, right now, I'm going through the some of the prophecies, by no means all of them, but some of the ones that I think are pretty important and how that they were fulfilled. Because I think this is really important for you to understand where your faith lies. It makes your foundation more firm. It is great to say, if the Bible says it, therefore it is. But you know what the Bible says then, And once you know it, and once you know these prophecies, the Old Testament prophecies, and how they were fulfilled, it really does strengthen your faith. And then you can actually lead others to the Lord as well. And then it's not so dependent upon your experience. It's based on what Jesus has done in the historical records, and that's what you believe in, So, and that's how you lead Jews to Jesus too, by the way, according to the Jewish pastor I oftentimes listen to, Lon Solomon. So we're going to go into this, and these are 5 minutes long if you haven't started watching these. And hey, listen, if you like these videos and you think people are going to learn by them, share them. Again, I mentioned this in one of the first videos. It's for people who are a little bit older, maybe high school, college, and that's a good group that I like to reach. We do things differently. We did things differently when the children were younger. And I mentioned before, we did charades, from the Bible, guess who this character is, Daddy, kind of stuff like that. And then we would take turns, and I would take turns too. It was really fascinating to watch how kids engineer these characters in their minds and how they try to act them out. So it's really, really a lot of fun. And my wife really loved to use keys for kids. And then there were times we would just pray, or times we would sing hymns or praise songs. You say you can mix it up a little bit, and you can have fun in your family devotion. Okay, now, I wanted to talk about his resurrection, because that is talked about, and it's really a fascinating study. Because it's not in just his resurrection, but resurrection in general. Let's talk about it. Psalm 16:10. For you will not leave my soul to Sheol, nor will you let your Holy One see corruption. And he's the Holy One. And he doesn't leave them in the grave. He doesn't let them see corruption. Psalm 49:15. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, and he shall receive me. You could actually go over to Isaiah 53. For he will be cut off from the land of the living. For the transgressions of my people he was stricken. Remember, we talked about cut off being, it's a word that's used, a phrase that's used in the Bible, and it does mean violently cut off. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He was put him to grief. When you make his soul an offering for sin, that's what he did. He shall see his seed, and he shall prolong his days. Now, wait a minute. He was cut off, but he shall see it. So, and he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see the travail of his soul and be satisfied. By the way, it pleased God to crucify Jesus. Well, why did it please God to crucify Jesus? So that you might be saved. Therefore I will divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong. Because he poured out his soul into death, and he was numbered with the transgressors. And he bore the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors. See, that's why he had to do it. And that's what he told the apostles afterwards. He spent the time after he was resurrected, before his ascension, telling his disciples, why he had to be crucified. It was for us. And then now it's in Psalm 110, it says, sit at my right hand until you make your enemies your footstool. So there's just that period of time that's talked about too in prophecy between, before the last 7 weeks. There's a period of time in which he's sitting up there waiting before he comes back. Okay? All right. Love you guys. Hope this helps you. And we'll see you next time.